Good evening and welcome to this live stream of the final recording session of Much Ado About Nothing, an audio drama presented by the actors of the SYT Summer Ensemble and directed by Logan Verdoorn. We're so excited to be able to share the work that we've been putting into this show for the last several weeks with you via live stream, so thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy this audio drama production. If you do, we have 5 other audio dramas from our season of audio dramas that will be available via the Dream Project. We have a lot of greatest hits there. We have Hamlet, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Romeo and Juliet, and you can find all of those at dream.sytmn.org or in the link below. So we hope that you will explore all of the audio dramas that this wonderful group of young artists has been putting together over the past several months. If you're interested in supporting this work so that performances and programs like the Summer Ensemble can go forward, please consider donating the average cost of a live performance ticket to support Shakespearean Youth Theater and this production. You can do that at the link below, either right now before we get going or after the show. Any contribution of any amount makes an enormous difference, and it really is contributions from the community and parents and friends and neighbors and all of the supporters who make Shakespearean Youth Theater and programs like this possible. And now, please enjoy Much Ado About Nothing.
A letter for you.
I learned in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon is come this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed bettered expectations, then he must expect me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina will be very much glad of it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars, or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There is none such near me of any sort.
What is he that you speak of, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned and as pleasant as he ever was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed, for indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Hey, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much, but he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service in these wars, and a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. Why, he is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we're all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with one. I pray you, who is his companion? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is't possible?
Very easily possible.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your books.
No, if he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squarer now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he hath caught the Benedict, it will cost him 1,000 pounds or he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You'll ne'er run mad, niece?
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonardo, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace, for trouble being gone, comfort should remain, but when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
My mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt that you asked her?
Oh, Signor Benedict, no, for then were you a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
Nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die when she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Why, then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly, I love none.
A dear happiness to women. I thank God in my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other may scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse if 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue. But keep your way in God's name. I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
Claudio and Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited us all to stay here at the least a month. And he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord, being reconciled to the prince, your brother. I owe you all duty.
I thank you. Not of many words, but I thank you.
Please it your grace, lead on.
Your hands, Leonato, will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do, for my simple true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, faith? Methinks she's too low for a
Truly, how thou likest her.
Would you buy her, that you inquire after her?
In the world buy such a jewel.
Yea, and a case to put it in, but speak you this with a sad brow.
In mine eye. She is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, if she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is't come to this? Shall I never see a bachelor 80 again? Well, go to in faith, and thou must needs thrust thy neck into a yoke and wear the print of it and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio? I can be secret as a dumb man, but on my allegiance, mark you this! On my allegiance! He is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
Amen if you love her. The lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
By my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I speak mine.
That I love her, I feel.
And she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of love.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I can get again with drinking. Pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, that will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns, and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they can write, let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict, the married man.
Well, you will temporize at the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair you to Leonardo. Commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at summer, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how?
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging, soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her. Oh, was not to this end thou first beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly do you minister to love that knows love's grief by his complexion.
Now will I fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero I am Claudio. Then, in her bosom, I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after will I to her father break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine.
Yes!
In practice, let us put it presently.
How now, brother?
Brother, I can tell you news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
They show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio, walking in a thick-pleached alley in your orchard, were thus overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
Good, sharp fellow. I will send for him. Question him yourself.
Oh, no. We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter with this withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer if, peradventure, this be true.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breathes, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing bringeth it?
If not a present remedy, yet a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jests, eat when I have stomach and wait on no man's leisure, sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business, laugh when I am merry, and soothe no man in his sadness.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have, of late, stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace.
Rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, I cannot be said to be a flattering honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. Therefore let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I came yonder from the great supper, where the prince your brother is royally entertained by Leonardo.
Well,
I can give you news of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Marry even your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And two, which way looks he?
Marry on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonardo.
A very forward march, chick. How came you to this?
As I was reclining in the orchard, in come the prince and Claudio in sad conference. I whipped me behind the bushes, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her then to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food for my displeasure. That young upstart hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me?
Oh, to the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper.
Oh, my Aunt Dahlia's chef Anatoly. Lovely.
Strawberry roll.
Beautiful.
I've never had anything like it.
The antipasti. Was that Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I'm heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing. The other is too like a family's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man could win any woman in the world if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
For the which blessing I am upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen.
You may light upon a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I will remain as I am, and lead me my apes into hell.
Well then, go you into hell?
No, but to the gate. And there will the devil meet me like an old cuckold with horns on his head and say, "Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids." So deliver I up my apes and away to St. Peter. For the heavens, he shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, Hero, I trust you to be ruled by your father.
Yes, Faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, "As it please you." But yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, "Father, as it please me."
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make man of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust, to make account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly, I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
Yes, father.
The revelers are entering!
Wonderful.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so.
When I like your favor.
Speak low if you speak love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
Why, then I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer,
Amen.
and God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done.
No more words. I am answered.
I know you well enough. You are Signor Antonio.
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I do but counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill well, unless you were the very man. Here's his dry hand, up and down you are he. You are he.
At a word, I am not.
Come, do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to mum, you are he. Graces will appear, and there is an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are.
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I am sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. His only gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him. I am sure he is among this fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do.
That is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I, too. He swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even about the next willow, Count, about your own business, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest cattle driver, for they sell bollocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me!
Oh, now you strike like the blind man.
If it will not be, I'll leave you!
Alas, poor hurt fowl, now will he creep in the sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me? The prince is fool! Ha! It may be I go under that title because I am merry. Yea, but I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in the woods. I told him, and I think told him true, that your grace had got the will of this young lady. I offered him my company to the willow, either to make him a garland, as being forsaken, or to bind him to a rod, as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, being overwhelmed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss that the rod had been made, and the garland too, for the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
Well, I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
By my faith, you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel with you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester. Then that I was duller than a great thaw, hurtling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks daggers, and every word stabs. I would not marry her, if she were endowed with all that Adam had before he transgressed. Come, talk not of her!
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will do you the slightest errand now to the Antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker now from the furthest inch of Asia. Do you any embassage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harp. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir. Here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Oh.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. I lent it him a while. 2 hearts for his single one. Married once before he wanted of me with false dice. Therefore, your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I prove to be the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord. The Count is neither sad nor sick, nor merry nor well, but civil, Count. As civil as an orange and something of a jealous complexion.
Faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true. Though if it be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the date of marriage, and God give you joy.
Count, take of me my daughter. His Grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or, if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak neither.
Faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it. Poor fool that keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart. Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburned. I may sit in the corner and cry hey-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me, I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and being merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in the merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that was I born.
Niece, will you look at those things that I told you of?
Cousins, God give you joy, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, pleasant, spirited lady.
There is little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad, but when she sleeps.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband?
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord! Oh, my Lord! If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Claudia, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is pence a just 7 night, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Oh, come, Count, you shake the head at so long a breathing, but I warrant you the time will not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, that is, to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and doubt not but to fashion it, if the three of you will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor, and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin that she will fall in love with Benedict, and I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that he, despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, will fall in love with Beatrice.
Okay.
If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours. For we are the only love gods. Go in with me and I will tell you my drift.
Yes.
It is so, the Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonardo.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how I was in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can at any unseasonable instant of the night appoint her to look out her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and to kill Leonardo. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go then, find a meet hour to draw on the prince and Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which will bear no less likelihood than to see me at the lady's chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero. Hear Margaret term me Claudio. And all this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime I will so fashion the matter that hero shall be absent. And there shall appear such seeming truths of hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can, I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be thou constant in thy accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor, and now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. Ugh. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another is virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love.
Come hither, Leonardo. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, what? Stuck on the foul sit. I did never think that lady should love any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she half in all outward favor seemed ever to abhor.
Is't possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it. That she loves him with an enraged affection, it is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh, God. Counterfeit? There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Bait the look well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How, I pray you. You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
So would I, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide itself in such reverence.
He hath ta'en the infection. Hold it up!
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis very true, so your daughter says. Shall I, says Beatrice, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him now that I love him?
This says she now, when she is beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty gesture daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had read it and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets.
That.
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 pieces, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so, and the ecstasy hath so much overborne her. My daughter is sometime afeard that she will do a desperate outrage upon herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would but make a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
If he should, it would be an alms to hang him.
Yeah.
She's an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything, but in loving Benedict.
Oh, my lord, I'm sorry for her.
I wish he had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself.
Huh.
I pray you, tell Benedict of it, and hear what he will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you all know, hath a contemptible spirit.
Oh, he is a very proper man,
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
and for God in my mind very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you, and in the management of quarrels you may see that he is wise, for either he avoids them with a great discretion, or undertakes them with a Christian-like fear. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go see Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord, and let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and could wish that he would modestly examine himself, so that he may see how unworthy he is to have so good a lady.
I know that's right.
She's out of his league.
Will you walk, my lord? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let us send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have the full bent. Love me. Why? It must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth, I can bear them witness, and virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it, and wise, but for loving me, by my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled! When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Ah! Here comes Beatrice! By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
You have no stomach, Signor. Fare you well.
Ha! Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. If I do not take pity on her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a fool! Look where Beatrice comes. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new-trothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full a fortune a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love, I know he does deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If speaking, why a vein blown with all winds. So turned she every man the wrong side out.
Sure. Such carping is not commendable.
But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly.
Yet tell her of it, hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passion. Truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
Oh, he is the only man of Italy. Oh, it's accepted, my dear Claudio.
When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in, I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel, which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She is ta'en, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some cupids kill with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it, better than reportingly.
You guys are so...
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants more.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it.
You must hang it first and draw it afterward.
What, sigh for the toothache?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that hath it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him, unless he hath a fancy to foolery, as it appears he hath. He is no fool for fancy, as you would have it appear he is.
If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs.
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek hath already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did, but a loss of a beard.
Nay, he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much as to say the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when was he want to wash his face?
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
She will be buried with her face upwards.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache. Old Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
Your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, the lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal.
Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warned. Go but with me tonight, you shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her, then tomorrow wed her, but it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
You dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will love her, if you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
Oh, day untowardly turned.
Oh, mischief, strangely thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented, so you will say when you have seen the sequel.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were a pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them if they should have any allegiance in them being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh Oatcake, sir.
Or George Seacole, for he can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both of which, Master Constable.
You have. I knew it would be your answer. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if they will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together. And thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We shall rather sleep than talk.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid them that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then, let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not then, the better answer. You may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may, by virtue of your office, suspect him to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
Oh, you've been always called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then, depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying, for the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it baws will never answer a calf when he bleeds.
That is very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, that I think they cannot.
Marry, not without the prince be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. If there be any matter of weight chances, call me up.
Yes, sir.
One word more. Honest neighbors, I pray you, watch about Signor Leonato's door, for the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go to sit here upon the church bench till 2. Then all to bed.
What, Conrad?
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I say!
Here, man.
Mass!
I am at thy elbow.
And my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now forward with thy tale.
Go then, stand thee under the penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and like a true drunkard I will utter all to thee.
Some treason! Let's stand close.
1,000 ducats!
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible that any villainy should be so rich.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest the fashion of a doublet or a cloak or a hat is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Tush, I should rather say the fool's the fool. Seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that deformed. He hath been a vile thief this 7 years, though he walks up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas a vein in the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily he turns about all the young hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30, sometimes fashioning them like the Pharaoh's soldiers in the Ricci painting, sometimes like the shaven Hercules in the smirched worm-eaten tapestry, where his codpiece is as massive as his club.
All this I see, and see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art thou not thyself giddy too with the fashion that thou hast shifted out of thy tale into telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither. But know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out her mistress' chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely, but first know that the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master, Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought thy Margaret was hero?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, partly by his oaths which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy which did confirm any slanders that Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand! Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known in the Commonwealth. And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Masters!
You'll be made. Bring deformed forth, I warrant you.
Masters, please, we
never speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither?
Well.
Troth, I think your other rebuttal were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth, 'tis not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new tire within excellently. If the hair were a thought browner, and your gown's a most rare fashion in faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, 'tis but a nightgown in respect of yours. Cloth of gold and cuts and laced with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts, a round underborn with a bluish tinsel. But for fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on it.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee, art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, if it be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice, else here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now, do you speak in the sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks.
Oh, let's do Light of Love. You sing it and I'll dance it.
Light of love in the house tonight.
In the house.
Everybody's gonna feel alright.
Oh, illegitimate construction. I scorn that with my heels.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. This time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hey-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all, H.
These gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot spell.
A maid and stuffed. There's a goodly catching of cold.
Why, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it. Does not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen often enough. You should wear it under your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickst her with a thistle.
Benedictus, why Benedictus? You have some boral in this Benedictus.
Boral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, byre lady, I'm not such a fool to think what I wish, nor I wish not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think, if I would think my heart out of thinking, that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict was such another, and now he has become a man. He swore he would never marry. And now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not. But methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop!
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town have come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me, good cuz, good maid, good Ursula!
What would you with me, honest neighbors?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth, it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter, and old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as God help I would desire they were, but, in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living. That is, an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, neighbor Vergis.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so. We are but poor officers, but truly for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all on your worship.
All of thy tediousness on me.
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 times more than 'tis, for I hear as good exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Merry sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, have ta'en a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
A good old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said, if faith, neighbor Vergis. Well, God's a good man, and 2 men ride of a horse, 1 must ride behind. And on a soul of faith, sir, by my troth, he is as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped, all men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
1 word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffigance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lord, they stay for you to bring your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination those men.
And we must do it wisely.
Oh, we will spare for no wit, I warrant you.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment on why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
Not my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now? Interjections? Why then some be of laughing as ha 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 hee hee.
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this major daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing. Unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she is a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity—
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you will say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonardo, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Dian in her orb, as chaste as the blood ere it be blown, but you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wise?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored, that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True. Oh, God. Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face hero's? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee, do as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry that can! Hero itself can blot out hero's virtue! What man was he? Talked with you yesternight, out at your window betwixt 12 and 1. Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then, you are no maiden! Leonardo, I am sorry you must hear. Myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour of night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed most like a liberal villain confessed the vile encounters she has had 1,000 times in secret.
Five, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoken of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero! What a hero hadst thou been if half of thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well. Most foul, most fair, farewell. Thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love.
Have no man's dagger here a point for me.
Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light, smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady? Dead, I think. Help, uncle. Hero. Why, hero! Uncle, Senior Benedict Friar!
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why does not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not ope thine eyes, for then I think thou wouldst not quickly die. For thy spirit stronger than thy shames. Myself would on the virtue of the mere word of reproaches strike at thy life.
Senor.
Grieved I have but one. Should I, for that at frugal nature's frame, oh, one too much for thee. Why had I one? Why ever wast thou lovely in mine eyes? Why had I not with charitable hand took up a beggar's issue at my gates, who spirit dusted, mired with infamy? I might have said, no part of it is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown loins, but mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on. Mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine, valuing of her. Why, she is fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little, which may season give to her foul, tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not, although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed with the prince's lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so that, speaking on her foulness, washed it with tears.
Hear me a little, for I've only been silent so long and given way unto this course of fortune. By noting the lady, I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions, to start into her face 1,000 innocent shames. In angel whiteness bear away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the error that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor my observation. Trust not my age, my reverence or calling. If this lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be.
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprison in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdoms be misled in this, The practice of it lives in John, the bastard.
If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age so ate up my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bad life reft me so much of friends, but they shall find awaked in such a kind, both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability and means, and choice of friends, to quit me of them furrow.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess left for dead. Let her while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed.
Friar.
Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this well carried, shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good, but not for that dream I on the strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have, we prize not the worth whilst we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost, why then we rack the value. Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us. So will it fare with Claudio when he hears she died upon his words. The idea of her life shall sweetly creep into a study of imagination. In every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life, into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, although he thought his accusation true. But if all aim this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy.
Signor, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inverness in love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor, I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for to strange sores, strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason, I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not. And yet I lie not. I confess nothing nor deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear by it and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not? Approved in the height of villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my cousin? Oh, that I were a man. What, bear her in hand, until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh, God, that I were a man. I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone. Beatrice. Princes and counties. Surely a princely testimony, a goodly count compact, a sweet gallant surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into curtsies, and valor into compliment, and men are only turned to tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it! I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Terry! Good Beatrice, by this hand, I love thee!
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you, in your soul, the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough! I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand and so leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so farewell.
Is our whole dissembly appeared?
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, that am I, Constable Dogberry. And my partner, Vergis.
Oh, nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Baraccio.
Pray write down Baraccio, Master Sexton. Yours, Sirrah?
I am a gentleman, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman, Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir.
We hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
The marvelous witty fellow, I assure you. But I will go about with him. Come you hither, Sirrah, a word in your ears, sir. I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are not.
Well, stand aside, for God they are both in a tale. Have you written down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by the mass that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words not to marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be opinioned!
My life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer, coxcomb. Come, bind them. Thou, naughty
Oh,
varlet.
wait! You are an ass! You are an ass! No.
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But, masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. I am a wise fellow, and which is more an officer, and which is more a householder, and which is more as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina, and one that knows the law. Go to, and a rich fellow enough. Go to, and a fellow that hath had losses.
Many. Yeah.
And one that hath 2 gowns and everything handsome about him. Bring him away!
Get him out!
Oh, that I had been writ down an ass!
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom.
Pretty cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel. Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe, the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer every strain for strain, as for thus, and such a grief for such, if such a one will smile and stroke his beard and sorrow wag, I am when he should groan, patch grief with proverbs, make misfortune drunk with candle wasters. Bring him yet to me, and I of him will gather patience, but there is no such man for brother. Men can counsel, and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel, but tasting it. That counsel turns the passion which before would give perceptual medicine to rage, fetter strong madness in a silken thread, charmed ache with air and agony with words. No, brother, 'tis no man's office to speak patience to those that wring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore give me no counsel.
Therein do men from children nothing differ.
I pray thee, peace. I will be flesh and blood.
But bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There. Now speaks reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know. So shall the prince and all of them that dost dishonor her.
Oh, here come the prince and Claudio hastily.
Hear you, my lord.
Good den. Good den.
Good day to both of you.
Oh, are you well, my lords? Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Harry! Down dost thou, dissembler, down, nay! Never lay thy hand upon thy sword, I fear thee not!
Mary, beshrew my hand, if it should give your age such cause of fear and faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, man, never flee or in jest at me! I speak not like a dotard nor a fool! I say, thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thy villainy. Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
Thou hast killed my child! If thou killst me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill 2 of us, and men indeed. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir, boy. Come, follow me, sir, boy. I'll whip you from your foining fence. Nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Brother!
Content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead. Slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, lax, milksuckers.
Brother Anthony!
Hold you content. What, man, I know them, yea, and what they weigh, even to the utmost scruple. Scrambling, out-facing, fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, go antically and show outward hideousness, and speak of half a dozen dangerous words of how they might hurt their enemies if they durst. And this is all.
But, brother Anthony!
Come, 'tis no matter. Do not you meddle. Let me deal in this.
Gentlemen, both! We will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death.
I will not hear you. Come, brother, away.
My lord. My lord!
Hey! There he is.
Good den, my lord.
Welcome, senor.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and fain would have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, but very many have been beside their wit.
As I am an honest man who is pale. Art thou sick? Or angry?
What? Courage, man. What though care killed a cat, thou hast metal enough indeed to kill care.
I pray you choose another subject.
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain! I jest not! I will make it good. How you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you.
Right, said she. A great. Nay, said I. A good wit. Right, says she. It hurt nobody. Nay, said I. The gentleman is wise. Certain, said she. A wise old gentleman. Nay, said I. He hath the tongues. That I believe, said she. For he swore a thing to me on Monday night, which he forswore on Tuesday morning. There's a double tongue. There's two tongues. Thus did she, an hour together, transshape thy particular virtues. Yet at last she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily and said she cared not.
Yea, that she did, and said if she did not hate you deadly, she would love you dearly. The old man's daughter told us all. I didn't.
Oh. And moreover, God saw him when he was hid in the garden.
For when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yea, and the text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humors. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. My lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with you both.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is.
But soft, you let me be, pluck up my heart and be sad.
Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir, if justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance, nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? Two of my brother's men bound?
Hearken-
Braccio one?
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they are slanders. Secondarily, they have spoken untruths. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And, to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I asked you what they have done. Thirdly, I ask, what's their offense? Sixth and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, what lay you to their charge?
Rightly reasoned, sir.
Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light. How in the night they overheard me confessing to this man, how the prince, Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record. I would rather seal it with my death than repeat it over to my shame. The lady is dead on mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my brother set you onto this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
Sweet hero.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonardo of the matter. And, masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Oh, here comes Master Signor Leonardo and the sexton too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I know another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the knave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. Was bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me what penance your invention can lay upon my sin.
Oh, my dear friend, I will bend under any heavy weight your heel enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both possess the people in Messina hear how innocent she died. And if your love can labor odd in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning, come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost a copy of my child, that's dead. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me.
Tomorrow, then, I will expect your coming. Tonight, I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by the prince's brother, John.
No, by my soul, she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, lords. Farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Hero.
The god of love that sits above and knows me knows. Oh, pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, Deserved well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice?
Will you then write me a love song in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it. For in most comely truth, thou deservest it.
Have no man come over me. Why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth. It catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret. It will not hurt a woman. And so I pray thee call Beatrice.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. The god of love that sits above and knows me how pitiful I deserve. Pitiful I... Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme for lady, but baby. An innocent rhyme for scorn. Horn, a hard rhyme for school. Fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. Now, I was not born under a rhyming planet, for I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then, it's spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came for, which is knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome, therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly. Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And now I pray thee tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so state a politic of evil, that you will not allow any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love! A good epithet. I do suffer love, indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, if you will spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I can never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. But now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill, too.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. It is proved my lady hero hath been falsely accused, and the prince and Claudio mightily abused. And Don John is the author of it all, who is fled and gone. We will come presently.
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Is this the monument of Leonato's?
It is, my lord.
Now music sound. Now unto thy bones good night. Yearly will I do this right. Graves yawn and yield your dead, till death be uttered. Heavily, heavily, heavenly, heavenly. When thou shalt be disposed to set me light, upon thy side against myself I'll fight, and place my merit in the eye of scorn, and prove thee virtuous, though thou art forsworn. Heavily, heavily, heavenly, heavenly, such is Yes, my love, to thee I so belong. For thy right myself will bear all wrong.
Good morrow, masters. Put your torches out, the wolves have preyed. And look, the gentle day before the wheels of Phoebus round about dapples the drowsy east with spots of grey. Thanks to you all, and leave us. Fare you well.
Good morrow, masters. Each a several way.
Come, let us hence, and put on other weeds, and then to Leonardo's we will go.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the Prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated.
I'm glad that all things sort so well.
As am I, being else by faith and force to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come ever masked. The Prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, brother. You must be fodder to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To what, Signor?
To bind me. Or undo me. One of them. Signor Leonardo. Truth it is, good Signor. Your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That eye my daughter lent her is most true.
And I do, with an eye of love, requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio, and the Prince. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But as for my will is your goodwill should today stand with ours in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. Here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
Aye, and I'll hold my mind.
Then call her forth.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give you her.
Why then I'm hers. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not, until you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died, but I do live, and as surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero. A hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whilst her slanders
All this
lived...
amazement can I qualify. When after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Till then, let wonders seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Oh, I love the chapel. Beautiful Gothic architecture. Yes, yes, yes.
Friar, soft and fair, friar! Which is Beatrice.
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Well then, your uncle and the Prince and Claudio were much deceived, for they swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth! No. No more than reason.
Idiot.
Why then my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no matter, then you do not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn on it that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another writ in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection onto Benedict.
A miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you. But by this day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
I wouldst have hoped thou wouldst have denied, Beatrice, that I might have cudgelled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer, which out of question thou wilt be, if my cousin do not look exceeding narrowly to thee.
Come, we are friends. We are friends.
Come, let's have a dance ere we are married, so we may lighten our own hearts and our husbands' heels.
We'll have dancing afterwards.
First, on my word, therefore play music.
Yeah! I know more!
Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. 1 foot in sea and 1 on shore. To one thing constant, never. And sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny. Sing no more ditties, sing no more of dirges dull and heavy. The fraud of men was ever so, since summer first was levied. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and sigh not so, then bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny.
Prince! Thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife, Prince.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of wit crackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No. If a man will be beaten with brains, he shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing. And this is my conclusion.